AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Now, some breaking news out of the NBA. We've got OG ANUNOBY intending to sign a 5-year, $212.5 million deal with the Knicks. And here to help us break down this breaking news is CBS Sports NBA analyst and one third of the members of the Beyond the Arc podcast. Let's get in, John Gonzalez. All right, John, welcome. Thank you for seeing us today. What do you make of this deal for OG?
Yeah, Katie, this was a priority for the Knicks. I mean, all things coming up Knicks right now, right? First, last night, they make a massive trade with the Brooklyn Nets and acquire Mikal Bridges, who's an awesome two-way player, a 3-and-D prototype that can really guard your best offensive option on the other team. And now you have OG ANUNOBY, who they acquired at last trade deadline from the Toronto Raptors.
That's all you had to hear.
You can hear me?
That's all you had to hear. Yeah, we can hear you. We live. We know who that is.
In the building early. Let's go. Great day yesterday. Great day. Let's talk about it.
Apologies to the brethren out there. Beautiful day in New York City. You know who I am, Fabian PerspecTV about this. Yes. But I didn't even tell you what it was, what it's looking like. Huh? Today, right now, 69 degrees. Beautiful, beautiful day. 85 is going to be the high. Humidity at 84. That kind of sucks because driving in today was beautiful. Them skies look beautiful. Get outside. Get outside and just look up. Get to your quickest coast. Get out there and look at the skyline if you're in New York, man. In the East Coast area. This is beautiful, man. 69-degree weather. Take a walk, man. Kiss your kids. Kiss your wife, significant other. Your chilla, as we say in Spanish. You know, the other one. If you happen to wake up, got a little too sauced up last night and woke up on the wrong bed. The wrong side of the wrong bed this morning. Let's get it, baby. You know what time it is. Knicks Rehab. You heard AllBall. What a day. What a day.
Wow.
OG signs for the max.
Wow.
Draft day. We got our guy in the mix. We're gonna get into that in a second. AllBall, how did you feel at day's end yesterday?
So I was kind of like, in between not wanting to give OG the max and hoping he'd take a pay cut. But, after we signed Bridges and after realizing we need OG and understanding what the market is, I had to get out of my feelings. When we re-signed OG, breath of fresh air, my brother. Hold on, I got some news. I forgot the young man who reported this. We might sign Hartenstein if he takes a light pay cut. Last night in the draft, we saved $3 million. Yeah, AllBall is on his game. Listen, they said if we could fix something up with the Mikal Bridges deal and Hartenstein instead of 20, if he could take 16 and a half, maybe 17. Listen, the league is about to be in trouble. And then last night, your man, La Cosa Rosa. What they say about draft picks? Oh, by the way, we get 5 more.
You get a draft pick.
Come on, man. So, very ecstatic, and real basketball people are now understanding what the Knicks are doing. I've been hearing it all day, all morning. People are really understanding what the Knicks are doing. And us as Knicks fans, I'm ecstatic, man. Listen, man, I keep saying it. I'm 46 years old. I haven't seen something like this in 20 plus years, since the Patrick Ewing days, man. Not even the Allen Houston days I was this excited. We are moving into the right direction to where for the next 5 to 10 years, we will be relevant, and AllBall is stamping it. In 3 years, we will win a championship. And I'm going to keep saying it and speaking into existence. When the New York Knicks win a championship, this will be the most important championship in all of sports history. Whether it's soccer, tennis, basketball, football, baseball, hockey, I don't care what it is. Soccer, this will be the most important title of all time. Oh my God, I'm excited.
And just the all balls point, the 26th pick is set to be paid about $2.19 million. So the Knicks saved $2.3 million by trading down and then out of the 26. If they stash the DADIET, they save about $5.5 million in total. We'll get to the DADIET in a second. Little scouting report on him. So the Knicks are able to save $5.5 million if the DADIET just plays overseas or wherever they're going to send them. In the meantime, the young Frenchman. And to your point, again, it's the guy, the dawn of all dawns, La Cosa Rosa himself. What has he done in the last 4 years? Ever since the Knicks hired Leon Rose. Shout out to New York Knicks Muse on Twitter. They be having me updated. Knicks hired Leon Rose in March of 2020. In 4 years, he's turned Elfrid Payton to Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett to Mikal Bridges, Reggie Bullock to OG Anunoby, Julius Randle stays, and Nerlens Noel to Mitchell Robinson. Come on, man. The dawn of all dawns. The dawn of all dawns. He's here.
And who got GM of the year?
Was it the Minnesota?
You understand what I'm saying? Let's talk for real. And this is not being biased because I'm a diehard Knicks fan, but let's be honest. The Knicks supposed to have the coach of the year, the GM of the year, the most improved player of the year, and the MVP this year. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. What we talking about? You see what La Cosa Rosa did after that debacle and what Phil Jackson did to us intentionally, and we climb out of that? Come on, bruh.
Phil Jackson should be ashamed of himself. He lost he should not be invited back to the Knicks reunion. These are the list of executives of the year. Last year was Brad Stevens. This past season, before that, Monte McNair for Sacramento, Zach Kleiman, the Memphis Grizzlies, James Jones in Phoenix, Lawrence Frank with the Clippers. The last 5 executives of the year. I would think he's gonna win that next year, hands down.
But Fabian, you know what's funny, right? These titles go to these GMs and these teams that's already basically built great. What the Knicks have done with the injuries, with climbing out of debt, bad picks, getting bad players, what La Cosa Rosa is doing, that's real GMing. That's real GMing. These other guys ain't doing no GM jobs. You telling me if Kevin Durant says I want to go to Phoenix, the Phoenix Suns GM gets GM of the, you ain't doing your job. What they're doing in New York is real work. That's what real work is. Them guys is over there working like how we working, 9 to 5. Hard working. They are working over there. Are you kidding me? We was under the building. Now we on top of the building. Come on, man. Come on, man. You kidding me? Big shout out to the Knicks, man. We stayed down till we came up. All the real Knicks fans, salute. Salute. The fake ones, go to capital HELL with gasoline drawers on. It's a fact.
So we know the OG Anunoby signed for 5 years, $215 million. I'm trying to break it down because I know.
I think it was 212 and a half.
212 and a half?
Yeah, that's close to about 43. That's probably 42 and some change a year.
Hey, good morning, baby cakes. Oh, you know, I'm the morning person in the house. Just to let you guys know. But
they said baby cakes. Let me find out you talking to a honey bun. Look. You know, some people love their food, man. You know what I'm saying? Good morning.
You know me lately.
Good morning, my Fabian family in the crib, man. Hopefully everybody have a blessed day today.
AllBall sends the good morning love to the family, to the household, to the chat.
Oh, yeah, and good morning,
Everybody
everybody
in
in
the
the chat, man. Always love, man. We appreciate y'all. Good morning to y'all, and have a beautiful day today. Have a beautiful life ahead of you.
It's a beautiful day out there. The OG deal, I'll get that worked in a second. The real breakdown of it. I just think it's beyond amazing what he's done. This is right here. I'm sorry. Right over my head. Go to Spot Track. I didn't even think Spot Track would do that, but because it won't be official until after the draft. I think they said you can't do this, can't be doing these things. So it's next season. So according to them, will be an estimate. OG ANUNOBY will make $36 million. After that, 39, then 42, 45, and eventually 48 with a player option. He becomes a free agent at 31 years old. I expect him to get some sort of deal worked out in between that, because that's how they've been doing lately. But just amazing time for the New York Knicks. Leon Rose can't salute him anymore. That deal that he made yesterday, just to save. I mean, we're learning new things in real time. Just to be able to get 5 draft picks. Was it they added 5 draft picks, or they traded draft picks?
They added 5 second-round draft picks yesterday by making the moves that they made, trading down. I think trading a draft pick, and they wound up getting 5 second-round draft picks. I think 1 or 2 tonight, and then, some in 2027, 25, 30. So, yeah, we accumulated 5 more second-round draft picks from yesterday.
Man. And I just can't stress enough how this looks. But we're gonna attempt to read Bobby Marks' remarks on how this thing works, because for the life of me, it's gonna be hard to understand this stuff. But we're gonna try to break it down. So the post New York Brooklyn fallout. This is from Bobby Marks, the ESPN capologist, as they call him. Gotta be careful nowadays, because if you're a capologist, you sound like a liar in this day and age slang. But because of the 7-year rule, you can only trade picks between 7 drafts. This trade will happen post-draft. We're operating in the 2024-2030 window right now. New York is sending their 2031 first to Brooklyn. So that means they're going to be able to trade draft picks within the next 7 years, if I'm not mistaken. You can only trade draft picks within 7 years. It's on the 7-year rule. Wow. Because New York is taking back more money, they are now hard capped at the $178.7 million first apron for 2024-2025, not including their 2 first-round picks and 2 players on non-guaranteed deals, Diakite and Jeffries. New York is $48.7 million below the first apron. That's the stuff that gets me kind of confused, because I guess once you get above that first apron, you get into the second apron, which is like another cap. It's like it's like a credit card that gives you a little more credit. And when you get into this side of the credit, they charge you more, or you're restricted more. Because this is the offseason, the team is not allowed to stack minimum contracts to send out in a trade. That is why New York is likely hard capped at the first apron. There are 8 players under contract. That means, including OG ANUNOBY, New York has to sign 6 players that fit $48 million below the first apron. This is extremely fluid and, of course, could change. So this stuff,
I'm going to be honest, I don't care about none of that. But I understand, that this is what has to be done. But can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Let's talk about word is there was a lot of offers for OG. Max offers, maybe some more from other teams. And OG said, I want to stay over here and build a winning culture and win a title in New York. Come on, man. Wasn't it word that nobody wanted to come and play for the Knicks?
Man, I think the first person who has finally earned our confidence and our good word, and that's how we just try to keep it real, because we spent years kicking his back in, and deservedly so. He booed us after we booed him, and now he seems to finally get it. But Julius Randle finally bought in after the last offseason, and he's the guy who did kick this off. He was just on Melo's podcast, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. Shout out to Melo and Mero. I think it's a dope podcast, especially for me. Melo stands out a lot, very strong. I think Mero needs to let loose and just be more funny and be more entertaining because that's what he does. That's what he's been doing. But I digress. Julius Randle, we got to give him some sort of MVP award. Definitely shower him with cheers every time we see him. He says it anytime he walks the streets, he feels the love. It's not just like in the Garden. Because, at the Garden, that's like a show. That's like a Broadway show that if we don't like what we see, we're going to boo you. It's the Apollo. This is the home of the Apollo. Like, this is no joke. In the 70s, Phil Jackson and them said they threw banana peels at them. So we have to give props to Julius Randle for going through the storm because he's the metaphor for everything. His career in New York is the metaphor. He went from getting booed to booing us back to now being in each other's good graces. And if it wasn't for him, this doesn't go this way. We don't make the playoffs in 2020. I understand Mitchell Robinson is the identity of Tibbs' style of play, but Julius Randle, without him, the All-NBA achievement awards that he got, we got to give him his props for the reason that someone like OG ANUNOBY in present day said, I want to be here in New York. There is no leaving. And what choice? I mean, I don't care what choice you had. Where are you going? Even if you go to Minnesota, they can't give you the max. Where can OG ANUNOBY possibly go where it would have felt this way? And you can go to Miami, and it's a crazy regimen over there. You have to keep your body fat count down on a weekly basis. They keep track of it. But we talked about it. You won in Toronto. You saw and felt what was happening in January. You felt the playoffs. There's nothing like the Garden, apparently. Mike Breen did say that there was nothing like the United Center or Chicago Stadium. That's the loudest place he's ever been. And, if Stephen A. Smith said that, we'd be kicking him in the side of his temple, the side of his head in his temple, because he says anything. But Mike Breen has total credence with us, New York Knicks fans, and he basically said the Chicago Stadium was the loudest, but everyone will tell you there's nothing like the Garden. And for OG ANUNOBY to feel that and then have the culture in this team, you see the wave of the future. You're going to see a lot more agents try to tap into their family, into their resources, and attempt to build something like this. Remember, with the NIL deal coming up, Calipari is tied into CAA and Leon Rose, La Cosa Rosa. Calipari is tied into that. There's a lot more within the college level that CAA and Leon Rose is tied into. So I see a bunch of copycatting that's going to happen after this. Leon Rose is the first agent to really take over a team and create this. We haven't won yet. Don't want to act like we won. But at the end of the day, there's nothing to do but celebrate this. How can you not be happy right now? How can you not be happy at this? It's impossible to not be ecstatic on a day like today. We've never had a June like this ever in New York City. Ever. And I'm not exaggerating that. Maybe when they traded for Earl of Pearl, and back then that was a different time period. We had two legit All-NBA guys, which we do have in Brunson and Randall, by the way. But they were never considered Walt Clyde Frazier and Willis Reed, two of the top guys at their position at that time, unless you want to consider Jerry West, the older Jerry West, and Oscar Robertson better than Frazier. But those are, Brunson wasn't considered a top 3 guy coming into the season. That's not how none of us looked at him. None of us looked at OG like this newfound defensive Kawhi 2.0. I didn't hear any of that. So when people just talk the way that they do, it's amazing. I love it. I'll take it for what it is. I did want to touch on also I read that the tax apron since Leon Rose took over. Some stats, another stat to throw out for you guys. Just when you think that the Mikal Bridges, OG ANUNOBY thing is just something we could wash away. Something that defensively, defense. Man, oh man, it's not just about defense. Apparently, dating back. Shout out to Tommy Beer, another guy who just relentless stats, relentless information coming from him about the New York Knicks in general, dating back to the start of the 2022-2023 season. So since for the last 2 seasons, there's only been 4 players who have made more than 100 corner 3-pointers while converting over 42% of their attempts. So 4 players in the last 2 seasons have made more than 100 corner 3-pointers at a 42% clip. That's Mikal Bridges, OG ANUNOBY, Donte DiVincenzo are 3 of those 4 guys. I don't even want to guess who the 4th is. I don't know if anybody else guessed in here. Malik Beasley is the other guy. That's major. But Mikal Bridges, OG ANUNOBY, and Donte DiVincenzo, who we've all acquired in the less than the last year. In less than a year, we've acquired the 3 out of the last 4 players that were able to convert 42% 3-pointers, corner 3-point shots. Tibbs has to be doing the baby rub hands. He has to be. This opens up the offense ridiculously. Julius Randle should be coming back healthy. He said he's ahead of schedule because he's been rehabbing. Just how much more good news can you possibly read about? It's the ultimate hype. And this is what makes it sweet is that it's all organic. It's done the right way until they start throwing us rules about tampering and everything else, because they're going to change the rules because Leon Rose is killing the game so bad. That's just what happens. It's either they really bend the rules for you, or they start making new ones for you because you're destroying the game like that. That's just how it goes. So that's future tripping though. Getting too far ahead of myself. Let us enjoy. Let us bask in the glory of something I've been asking for years. I didn't want Donovan Mitchell. I did not want Donovan Mitchell. Not for that asking price. That was ridiculous. I did not want Kevin Durant if it meant Kyrie Irving coming over here. It's no disrespect to Kyrie Irving. I spoke about that ad nauseum. You can't think you're the number 1 guy on the team. Donovan Mitchell's not a number 1 guy on a team. Kyrie Irving's not a number 1 guy on the team. And on top of that, Kyrie was you see him this year, he came around 360. I'm proud of my guy. I love seeing it. He ain't got to ever like me if he ever felt like he heard my criticism, right? But at the end of the day, Kevin Durant isn't a Jalen Brunson. We see everywhere he goes, it's like, what is he really doing? He's an MVP candidate for how many years? So when we got Julius Randle, I wasn't ecstatic. At that time, I was ecstatic about signing 3 or 4 power forwards at 2-year deals and getting under the cap and collecting all these draft picks. So I saw a little bit what Leon Rose was doing. The most frustrated I ever been was that season when, Tibbs, we had Kemba Walker and Tibbs just wasn't playing the kids anymore. It's like, we're not going to win. We might as well play the young guys. That was the most frustrated I ever been, just to get rid of Tibbs and, RJ or Randall got to go. One got to go to the bench. And ever since then, Leon Rose has let him go. And we flipped that for Mikal Bridges and OG ANUNOBY. Do we have to remember it was just a year ago where it's RJ and Randall getting in each other's way? 3 lefties with Brunson, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, and they really couldn't. None of them really were involved in the team. None of them are really pass first. And now we have guys that open the floor up. These corner 3-point snipers who are 2-way players, by the way. Josh Hart, Donte DiVincenzo, OG ANUNOBY, Mikal Bridges. Mitchell Robinson is a fringe because offensively he doesn't score. He can set a pick, but he's not thought of as a typical 2-way player because you think of scoring more. But he's impacting the offense and stretching that offensive possession. Let's get it together. They still sleeping on us and let them. So and not all of them, because now they're starting to project us as the best team in the East and the best team in the NBA. You know who the fake fans are. Hopefully, we need the pressure on us, though. When you have that target on you and we see how you respond, Thibodeau, down. Leon Rose on down. Leon Rose has done his job. All we ever ask is for the general manager, or all I've ever asked is the general manager, the president, the owner to do their job. If you do your job, the players have to now get the blame. It's up to the coach and up to the players to do their job. And there is just no reason, no excuse to not have the best record in the East next year, to not see that championship, to not go up against the Minnesota Timberwolves or whoever we're going to see come out the West if Denver loads up. Because that's who it is out West, right? It's Oklahoma City. The Memphis Grizzlies. That Zach Edey pick, not for nothing. I'm a basketball fan too. Let's not forget that. That Zach Edey pick is sneaky, really good. Zach Edey sets picks like a monster. He is a mountain out there. Ja Morant is a hybrid to me. I can see that's what they needed, that drop dump off guy. Remember, they were missing Steven Adams. This is Steven Adams with some offense. It would be shocking, big surprise if they make the finals. But let's not forget, Ja Morant is big time. And he's been out for damn near 2 years. They're in the mix, in my opinion. The Houston Rockets are trying to take a leap. There's a lot of guys who think they can take this leap, make this leap. And if you're being optimistic and realistic, it's possible. It's possible. So I want to see the Knicks compete against everybody. I want to see. That's why I was excited when they beat down the Portland Trailblazers in that game earlier this year. You don't play down in your competition. You destroy them. And that's what they did. That's what they did. So I cannot be upset with that whatsoever. Leon Rose and these guys, just amazing. I'll get to the draft pick last night. Let's get to some of these comments, though. We got to start. Travis Lucas. The Don Rosa is now officially invited to the cookout. Peace to my guy. Trav, we got to come up with a new nickname. Unless I call you T-Lou. Our T-Lou. Because there's a Luke Skywalker in the chat. I forgot about that. And his name is Luke Skywalker, he spells it mad ill, too. Peace to Trav, man. Always just showing love. Eddie, what's going on? Good morning to the guys. Peace to the chat. Let's get it. Got to give priority to the AllBall TV family, everybody, first. They paid their dues, literally. Just like I said yesterday about OG, if iHeart wants to win and likes it here, then he will take less to be here. The Knicks are building a brotherhood. Couldn't agree more. La Cosa Rosa. In Leon, we trust. Let's go. Vaughn Allen in the building. Salute to you, to the biggest AllBall TV, the biggest salute right back at you. Not just for the starting five, our bench is better than most of the teams we put out for 20 years. Oh, I haven't even heard it put it that way. That 8-man rotation is insane. I hope we can sneakily give iHeart a great deal. If iHeart takes less money and we could keep Achua. Because I see the closed captions, and they when I pronounce Achua, they put it as Ochoa. Now I'm like, whoa. We ain't got nobody. We ain't got nobody over here, smuggling and duggling over here. That's Achua. Get it right, Google. That's not Ochoa. We selling good product over here. Legal product. Yeah. I haven't heard it that way, though. The last 20 years is the best bench. Is this the best bench in Knicks history? I couldn't even finish it. Is this the best bench in Knicks history? Since the 70s, they got to go back to with that starting lineup. 1 for 5. Any more from Will? Let me see any more. The CAA ties run deep. Correct. Peace to y'all. Greg, what's going on? You're always in the chat. John Pettit. This has been a great 2 days. I can care less about drafting anyone. We're ready to win now. Let's be real. Anyone that they would have drafted would not have been even played. Be real. We didn't pass on MJ. I thought the same, G. What else you got there? Von Allen. I found it really interesting last night. They took the words SF and PF out and replaced it with wing. And that took, think about it, that took about, are they like 7 years late with that? Right? It's been about at least 5 years since this has played out. And the next 5 years, we can project these kind of players to really be wings. Great catch, Von Allen. I thought the same, G. Wings are never forwards. The forward will always be a power forward in my eyes. Which is tough because it's really, like I explained in my article, how Grant Hill and Penny Hardaway's injuries changed the NBA forever. I need to go there and I'm gonna throw it in the chat. Throw my article in the chat real quick, so that you guys can read it about how Penny Hardaway and Grant Hill's injuries changed the NBA forever. Because the fours, because there's only like there are like mainly wing players now. There's no more big man anymore. They got rid of them and they got rid of the point guard, the traditional point guard, because they both need each other. So I think you're right, Gregory Lee. They have to be power forward. Somebody has to rebound. Even though Luka Doncic, that's why when they call him a point guard, I'm like, I don't think he's a point guard, because the point guards really get the team. Like Joker is a point guard. He's a point guard. He's a point center. Shout out to Dime Dropper. He hates when I say that, but I'm like, bro, who runs the offense? The reason why they're so exciting to watch, or you're excited about the great basketball that they play, is because he took the ball and becomes a point guard. If you're going to be any real point guards today, have to become hybrids. Like Halliburton has to become sort of a shooting guard to be, relevant and keep them going. Because without him scoring, they wouldn't have been as explosive as they were this season, especially in the in-season tournament. He kind of flamed out fast. He's a guy that's going to need to work out. Halliburton's kind of weak out there. But you're right, Gregory. You have to have power forwards who are hybrids. If you're a power forward, you have to put the ball on the floor to stay on the floor. Like Kevon Looney, he gets played off the floor every single day, right? Remember how much of a monster he was against that in that 7-game series against the Sacramento Kings? The new Dennis Rodman out there, Buck Williams out there, and I don't remember anything about him last season. So yeah, man, the fours are fours, but they can't be traditional fours. Every position has to be a hybrid. Can you say shooters? Definitely need a savage behind Randall, perhaps an enforcer bruiser type. Man, I threw shout out to Knicks 100 when he threw out the Isaiah Stewart name. He's on a great contract. If you can't get iHeart, you gotta start talking to the Pistons about Isaiah Stewart. And I want to get back to the Pistons in a second before I forget that too. I think AllBall will rejoin us in a second. There's a guy who wasn't re-signed by the Pistons, #1 draft pick at a certain time. He's thought of as a traditional center. Maybe the game isn't for him, but trying him out, it must be an option. It must be an option, especially give him the most minimum deal possible. Our spacing next season is going to be crazy. On paper, this thing looks nuts, Will. It looks crazy. It's just better than I can ever imagine. Who has designed a better? I just, on paper, the Celtics were designed really well last year. That Porzingis deal, and I still wasn't all in on them in terms of, I knew they would compete for the championship. That's what they've been doing for the last 5-7 years since Tatum's whole existence. They've been championship contenders in the Eastern Conference, especially. And their spacing is out of this world. Out of this world. So just to be able to get Brunson and Randall more one-on-ones, and even Mikal Bridges is just going to be insane. The mid-range guard. A mid-range guard. That's the reason why we were looking at DeMar DeRozan. Like, should we give him a try? Mid-range guard. And Mikal Bridges, I think he's quick trigger. Same with Isaiah Stewart, by the way, in Detroit. He has a pretty good trigger, man. Doesn't shoot that many threes, but he's the lunatic that we might need to back up Randall as well. We need just those tough dudes. iHeart is tough too now. I love iHeart. He's not backing down from anybody. Isaiah Stewart is an undersized 5. Man, he's an undersized bruiser. This will be the Knicks' best season, the best Knicks season. I don't know how old you are, Melo, but man, get Drummond. They got a guy over there. He's a free agent now. Drummond's a free agent, but they got a guy out there who might be cheaper than Drummond. And under Tibbs, we know how Tibbs is a magician with that front court. Come on now, iHeart, Achua, Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle. The list goes on. Taj Gibson, Joakim Noah, Defensive Player of the Year. Stewart is beastie. Definitely would have put the hit out on Embiid after that Mitch foolery. Come on, man. Come on, man. But we gotta get into our guy. What did you guys think of the Knicks draft pick? Oh, stop sharing the screen. I'm sorry. What did you guys think of the Knicks draft pick? PACOME DADIET. I want to say it's PACOME. Because it's not DL home, it's DL homie. PACOME, the homie, the DADIET has a bag. And these highlights, they can fool you a little bit. He shot 31% from the league he played in last year. I think he was from Paris. Nice little handle. But more importantly, it looks like he's not shy to cut to the basket. That's what I'm noticing from these highlights. And look, he attacks the basket because he knows he can't really shoot. Like these are nice little shot highlights. Throwing between the legs, taking a step back, throwing it underneath, between the legs, reverse. But more importantly, he gets to that cup. He likes that cup. Look, good finisher. He's not scared. 18 years old. He's a baby. Look, ooh, it's a nice move. So he got a little handle. Another scouting report, another piece of a scouting report I heard is that he's a little timid. So, someone like Luka Doncic, even though he's a big crybaby, Luka also, he's spoiled, but he can play spoiled on defense, but on the offensive end, Luka ain't shy, man. Luka is not shy. And the one thing I don't like about anybody to be described as is shy. I was a shy kid, so I know what it feels like to be shy. But on that court, got to be a demon. You got to be a demon. Kobe Bryant was drafted, 11th to 12th? Known as the second best two guard of all time. It doesn't happen with him being shy like that. Punch Shaq in his head. Pow! Get who you are. I'm Kobe. I'm the coaster. After the Knicks traded back in the 2024 NBA draft day, they selected guard PACOME DADIET with the number 25 pick on Wednesday night. New York originally had the number 24 pick, but they traded it to the Washington Wizards for the number 26 and 51 pick. The Knicks would select Keyshawn George, a forward out of the University of Miami, whose rights will go to Washington once the trade is complete. The Knicks then dealt the 26th pick to the Oklahoma City Thunder for 5 second-round picks. Major, just major, according to Shams of The Athletic. Jake Fisher of Yahoo Sports. The Thunder are sending 2025's most favorable second-rounder via either the Celtics or Grizzlies. OKC's 2026 second-rounder via the Warriors. That one's interesting because the Warriors are rumored to get Paul George. So that's 2 seasons from now. I see Golden State blowing it up next summer. They're going to blow it up. is a 2027 pick via the Timberwolves. The 2027's second most favorable of 4 teams: OKC, Houston, Heat, and Pacers, and it's 2027 third most favorable between those same 4 teams. And of course, another thing that's not being talked about is, yes, the league is a lot more talented than it ever has been. But so is the NFL. So is hockey. The world, baseball, the world is way more invested in basketball now than it ever has been. The Dream Team was the ultimate promotion for the NBA and for basketball, for the American sport. Now we see MVP candidates. Finally, SGA snuck in there as a second candidate, or second in place for the MVP last year. But it was 4 or 5 straight years of either Embiid, Joker, and Giannis. All the Euros and international guys. So the league is going to be way more populated by international players. Basketball in general, we're going to see way more highlights. So these second round draft picks, they may mean something in 2 seasons because of the fact that there's so many more players out there to choose from. And obviously we prefer that we can funnel them to the NCAA, where apparently CAA has a lot more control and they have their funnel, right? Want to bring them to the family, and they're treating everybody right. And this is going to be the ultimate promotion for them with the Nova Knicks. So that what they're saying about PACOME DADIET is the 6'8" DADIET averaged 6.6 points and 47.3% shooting over 59 games in 3 different European leagues last season. By trading out of the 26th pick and stashing DADIET and replacing those picks by rostering 2 second-round picks on rookie minimums, the Knicks saved roughly $3 million in team salary for the upcoming season per cap sheet. I did also see something with the D. I saw his press conference. I want to hear him real quick because he, at the end of the day, he does sound, he sounds amazing. He doesn't sound shy
Okay, Tom, this is the hearse. Let's go like that.
He doesn't sound shy for me in the press conference. Maybe on the court he was shy, but to me he sounds pretty mature for an 18-year-old. Pretty mature for an 18-year-old.
Welcome. Just what's this night been like for you, and were you expecting to end up with a Knicks hat on?
Honestly, the workout went pretty well, so I knew like they were interested, but until the last minute I didn't know where I was going. So I'm very excited to start working, and yeah, I can't wait.
First row here on the left. PACOME, Fred Katz from The Athletic. Do you plan on playing here next year? Do you plan on taking more time in Europe?
No, I'm planning on playing here in the team. Yeah.
Workout like, what was that workout like for you? How did you get to know the organization? What do you know about them now?
Obviously I talked to the people over there, so I got to learn more about the team. But yeah, so I was in the facility, everything. They showed me around, and it was nice. So, yeah.
Third row on the right.
Thomas Alba, AFP. How does it feel? I mean, you overall, you took chances like playing in Germany and then staying in the draft, even though people were expected you would be maybe in the second round and ending up there. Like, how did you feel about the journey?
I think it's beautiful. I took a lot of risk. I left France when I was 17, so I did the last 2 years in Germany. I felt like it was a risk, and but I believed in myself. I worked a lot, and yeah, I stayed confident.
Shout out to SNY for that footage. What do you guys think about how he sounds? I think he's working on his American accent because the French accent keeps sneaking in there. But and what do you guys feel about taking a chance by going to Germany? I guess because he was 17 and he went out to Germany. Is that a Hartenstein connection? Aha. The Benz connection, huh? That German engineering, huh? I like how he sounds, but he said he's planning to come play over here. Hopefully he shows something halfway through the season or at the end of the season, and we can be ahead of schedule, and we'll have enough to play him, and maybe that it doesn't affect the salary cap as much because we're gonna save $5.5 million by the move that they made yesterday. I can't see him playing this season. I can't see him playing this season if we're saving $5.5 million, and we're planning on getting re-signing iHeart. I think that's in the mix. I would love. I mean, if we can run it back. iHeart, Mitchell Robinson, and Achua. It's going to be a different level. That's going to be a different level because Achua is going to bring something that, remember, Jericho Sims, I think, will be a hard cap hit if you try to let him go. Not sure if you can trade him. Excuse me. But it's amazing. PACOME is. I hope you ain't cursing. I think is that Sadu? Are you from Sweden? I think you left us a super chat in the comments one time. I had to Google Translate how to say thank you in Swedish. Man, he talking about playing in summer league. You think he's like Oubre? Yeah, if that's the case, that would be crazy. But that would be an 18-year-old Oubre, so I don't want that. I'd rather have Hartenstein, Mitchell Robinson, and Achua, man. It's specifically Hartenstein and Mitchell Robinson. We can run it back. Mitchell Robinson got to be here, man. He's a weapon. He's dominant. It's flat out dominant. Oh. Are we live?
Big Flea, never the little one.
I guess. Are we live?
Big Flea, never the little one.
Good morning and salutations to the chat. Fabian PerspecTV, Knicks family. How y'all doing this morning?
Sadu is French. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Did he get drafted last night? Feel like there was a bunch of Frenchmen got drafted last night.
Trillium in the building. Salute to Flea.
True. Well, hope all is well, my brother.
Real quick, the Knicks do a great job of picking up high character guys. I like the kid's confidence under a coach like Tom Thibodeau. His development is imminent, and Tibbs will weed him out if he's too weak. Flea, what'd you feel about?
What'd you feel about that kid?
We're gonna have to because that's how we save the $5.5 million.
Flea
Mason.
I love it. Big Greg, what's good, baby?
What did you feel about yesterday's moves? Obviously, we heard about OG before the draft or during the draft, and before the draft. And what do you feel about the draft moves?
Draft was a snoozer. And I'll say that it was a snoozer because I gotta be honest, I was not very, very familiar with all the guys that are coming from overseas, right? I got to really do some homework. I got to really lock in and really do some homework because there seems to be a lot of good players. You know what I'm saying? There seems to be a lot of good players. I know I'm not answering the question, and I'm gonna answer it, but I just wanted to make this point real fast for the people that were locked in on the draft last night. Guys, we're behind. The United States is behind. We are getting dog walked right now by international players, overseas players, European players. They are dog walking us when it comes to being ready to be an NBA player. They just are. And they have been dog walking us for the past several years. United States got to get their stuff together. Because these Europeans and these overseas players are absolutely taking over the NBA. They're taking it over. They're more prepared. They're just better players when they come in. It doesn't take as much time to develop a lot of these kids because they are completely ready to play on the next level. Yeah, size, understanding the NBA game, all of that has to happen. But just in terms of basketball, you know how I am, Fabian. In terms of basketball, these guys just know how to play. They practice way more over there than they do play. These kids over here, all they do is play games and never really work on their craft. So I said all that to say, I understand now why 4 Frenchmen went in the top 12, right? Like, it was interesting. But in terms of the Knicks moves, I love everything we did yesterday. Yesterday lets me know that we're going all in. Yesterday lets me know that we're ready to rock and roll. Yesterday lets me know that we're committed to Isu Scribe. I know I just had to say that real fast. Yeah, so
you and Shaquan over here working on Professor X time.
But no, man, I think that was I think that was just great moves. It was just, if you're a Knicks fan, we have been loud and proud about what we're trying to do. We've been active. I love the fact that we've just been active. Every time you pop up, we do something. What do I always say? We got to upgrade. We got to get better. We got to let people know that we're focused on winning. And I think those moves, everything that, as active as we've been, trading for Mikal Bridges, signing OG, I think the number was high. Let's just call it what it was. I think the number is high. 42.5, I think it's high. I think in 3 years, if we don't have a championship out of that, like, we'll start having conversations, especially, the Knick community will start having conversations about that number was too high. But it just lets me.
It doesn't start to get to over 40 million until the third season. Next year is 36. After that, it's 39.
But what did I say? By the time the third season comes, and he is knocking on that 40 million, and we don't have a championship, or we don't, have several deep playoff runs, I know us. We are bipolar. You know what I'm saying? So we may start to sing a different tune if we're not getting the bang for our buck, is what I'm saying. So I'm good with it, though. We had to do it. I'm good with it.
Oh, man, my brother Flea, always good to hear you, my brother.
OG, what up, baby? How you feeling?
Listen, man, I'm feeling great.
Good.
I had to really sit and think, and I have to listen to my brothers. I got to stop being an old, stubborn man. You said this is what the market is. We got to do what we got to do. We couldn't let OG go to Philly, Milwaukee, Indiana, Miami. And
we could have let him. We could have.
Nah, we couldn't. We couldn't have did that. And he wanted to be here. Flea, word is, he got a lot of offers, even more max money. But he said, I want to stay in New York. This is the word. Yes, this is the word.
More money. So he got 212 from us. Damn, what they was throwing at him? 250?
Probably. Look at Scotty Barnes. Look at Scotty Barnes. Look at what your man Bam Adebayo just got.
Well, no, they couldn't. They could only max out to 4 years, 186, something like that. So we were able to offer him the most from the beginning. There was nobody that could outbid us.
But hold on, but 4 years. But you said 4 years. How much?
186.
Right. That's 45. Yeah. But that's still more. That's
right,
like that's almost 46, 47.
Right, but then we could have offered 5. The most we could have offered was 5 years, 245.
Okay.
So that it was always going to be the 5th year, which is an option, a player option.
No, but hold on, Fabian. I'm sorry to cut you off, but hold on. What I'm saying is the 5 years, what you just said, the 4 years is more money.
Yeah, but it's still now you have an option at 48 million, and whether he's injured or not, whatever it is, I think it means a lot. That's now it's the 4th year, you get the same amount from the other team, and it's like, all right, now you got the 5th year on the table. You turning that down?
No, I understand. I understand what you're saying, but I'm just saying that for him to say he wants to be here, Flea, he said he wants to build his culture and he wants to bring a title to New York.
Well, AllBall, do you think it is too much? Because Flea is saying that it is too much now.
I know. I just said the dollar amount is high. I'm not I'm not about to sit here and complain because guess what? We got two of the best wing defenders in the league. We locked in something that is supposed to set us up for the next 2 to 3 seasons. So I'm absolutely not mad, but we can't sit here and act like that dollar amount for OG and is not high. It's a high dollar amount.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. See, when it comes to this, I can be an old stickler and Flea. You know me. I think it's high for everybody. I'm just being honest with you. Like Scotty Barnes, 250 something. Bam, 3 years, 166, which is 50 plus. Like I'm being honest. You know, it is high, but like I said, you know, I gotta listen to my brothers when y'all say this is what it is. This is the market, and if we don't give it to them, pause. Another team's gonna give them that money, and then if it's in the East, now we looking crazy. The only thing that, you know, I would have hoped is, you know, maybe he could have took a light pay cut, so we could sign Hartenstein. And Fabian, did you tell Flea that it may be a chance for us to sign Hartenstein?
Right. I think by saving the $5.5 million this year by stashing the Frenchman, the DADIET,
right?
It you know, it created that sort of cap space that we can try to draft. Also, what nobody's talking about, why can't Hartenstein sign for a 1 year deal with a player option at the end of the season, and now you have the entire Larry Bird rights? Because right now all they have is early Larry Bird rights. So that's why the max is only $76 million for 4 years with Hartenstein. So I can see the Knicks going, yo, we could get you for 1 year this year with a player option at the end of the year, and then we go do the same thing next year, and now we got more money on the table for you. And if you want to leave, there's probably more money out there for you as well. And they could throw whatever money they want out there, but then look at OG ANUNOBY. We got that 4th or 5th year to play with.
Fabe, these guys, Fabe, these guys are looking for stability. Hartenstein has been trying to find his way in the NBA for the last few seasons. He finally got his opportunity last season.
Right.
So he's trying to cash in on this opportunity. It might not come again, right? He could sign a 1 year deal with the Knicks, get hurt next season, and that'd be it. And now he has no security, right? He has no security blanket. He has no, you know, he's got to work just as hard, maybe even twice as hard to get back, depending on the injury. God forbid is what I'm saying. But I'm sure his thinking and his agent is like, we may not never get an opportunity to be in position to get a bag like this. Go get it. So you're right. I hear, you know, you're thinking for the family. You're thinking for the organization. You're thinking for, you know, keeping flexibility and keeping our guy. We love Hartenstein, but I don't. The money can't be the reason that we going back and forth. If he wants more money, God bless you. You got to go get it from somewhere else.
Yeah. Flea, what they were saying was, well, I seen it this morning, and I forgot the reporter's name. Big shout out to him. He was saying that from what we did last night in the draft, saving the money, then, you know, the pick, putting that in the stash. And he was also saying, you know, with the Mikal Bridges trade, there's some ways to, like, fix some kinks in that. He was like, it's a possibility, very high possibility, that we could re-sign Hartenstein. Hartenstein would just have to take a pay cut. So I'm just guessing the 4 years, 76, that's 19 a year. So I'm guessing what, 16 and a half, 17 maybe? I don't know if it would go as low as 15, but I'm hoping that, you know, Hartenstein, you know, would think of the bigger picture.
OG, Fabian, Nicky Claxton just got $100 million.
Yeah.
You know, so respectfully to Nicky Claxton.
But to your point, that's what I'm saying. $100 million because he's been with the Nets for that long and he's able to get the full Larry Bird rights. So to me, I'm just saying that's a part of it too. With Isaiah Hartenstein, it's like, yo, he's one more season with us, and it guarantees you the $100 million actually. Because how about 4 years, $100 million instead of the 4 years, 76 you at right now? That's what he's looking forward to. So I just see this being that. Now that I got both of you guys on here, though, I don't know which one you guys got to go first, but you will do it. I have a curveball of all curveballs. We threw the Marcus Smart thing out there last week, but today might be short-lived. Maybe you give me 20 seconds, you'd be like, eh. But there is a free agent out there We're very familiar with the Detroit Pistons. He became a free agent yesterday. James Wiseman was just released by the Pistons.
I thought of that yesterday. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Wow.
The Pistons will soon renounce James Wiseman, making him an unrestricted free agent. Instead of giving Wiseman a one-year qualifying offer, the Detroit prefers to clear more cap space. The former number 2 overall pick will be an intriguing buy low option on the veterans minimum market.
Give me Drummond over this kid. I don't want this kid.
I was going to ask about Drummond too, because Drummond is I think we know what he is in the NBA.
Yes.
And Wiseman just can't find his way. So AllBall, what? Because it sounds like you're enthusiastic about it, just like I am, or at least curious about it.
I'm gonna say this. I'm almost there with Flea. But a guy like Wiseman right now, he's probably desperate. This is his last hoorah. He's a 7-footer. If he can transform his game to maybe just being a rebounder and shot blocker, and we could get him for the super low minimum, I say go for it. He's a big body. He's young. And like I said, we need rebounding, and we need at least, if you're not a great shot blocker, to contest some shots. We don't need you to dribble. We don't need you to shoot threes. We don't need you to do anything. We really need a big body. I'm being honest, Flea. We could get him to the point where the money don't hurt us, and worst case scenario, we could just drop him and waive him if it doesn't work. I don't see no problem with that if we have a major talk with him where he's willing to transform his game to become like a low-budget Joakim Noah, where it's like, yo, bro, just rebound, be a little tough, and defend and contest some shots. We don't need you to do nothing else. If he could become a high level at that for the low, then I wouldn't mind taking a shot at him, because at this point, I think this is it for him.
You want me to roll, Fabian? You got it? You want to roll?
You talking to me, Flea?
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt with you if you had something to say. I had something to say on him, but I want to let you cut.
Yeah, I wanted you to hear this before you responded, because it might, we gotta throw a pebble at Flea real quick. Bing. So this is the last. They're talking about these are the last 10. When you have this many years of experience, you get this much money. I think Wiseman is in his 5th or 6th year, because Wiseman came out with
LaMelo
and Halliburton and Obi. So this is probably his 5th or 6th year, let's say. So he make between, let's say, 2.3, 2.5 million, right? Now, because the NBA doesn't want teams to avoid signing veteran players in favor of cheaper, younger players, the league reimburses clubs who sign veterans with 3 or more years of experience to 1-year minimum salary contracts. Those deals will only count against the cap and against the team's bank balance for the $2 million minimum salary for a player with 2 years of experience. For instance, Patrick Beverley, who has 11 years of experience, who reportedly signed a 1-year minimum salary contract with the Sixers this year, who will only be charged $2,019,706 for Beverley's contract. He'll earn $3.1 million, but the NBA will make up the difference. This only applies to 1-year contracts, not to multi-year deals. So that's major. That is, I didn't even know that till I just read that. So Flea, if let's say the Knicks signed Wiseman to $2.5 million and they're only paying $1.5 because the league is reimbursing that, and then Sims moves out of the rotation somehow, you're replacing Sims with him, and under Thibodeau's watch.
Right. So obviously Tibbs is the big whisperer, right? Like Tibbs is the big whisperer. So he, you know what I'm saying? So this guy gets with these bigs and they play out of their mind. We thought Nerlens Noel figured out how to play basketball when he got with Tom Thibodeau, right? So okay, like if y'all about to sell me on Wiseman, cool. All right, I'll roll. I'll roll. If we're talking about, can he come off the bench and actually show a pulse over Jericho Sims? Absolutely. Go out there and just look alive. Cool. I'll roll. I'll roll. If it doesn't hit us hard, in terms of dollars, I just thought that kid always thought he was better than what he really is.
Not rightfully so.
No. I saw nothing from him.
I never seen it neither.
I never saw. I never saw anything from him. Even coming out of Memphis, like Penny had his hands on this kid before this kid even hit the NBA. And I even asked, I got some people out there in Memphis, and I even asked them, like, what the hell does Penny see in this kid? Because this kid is like decent, but NBA prospect, a number 2 overall pick. We talking about number 2. Go look at number 2 overall picks. Kevin Durant was number 2 overall pick. Like, think about number 2 overall picks. Like, this kid hasn't shown anything. I'm surprised he still has a job. So that's why I'm not high on him. But if you're talking about what we're doing right now, all right.
But Flea, I'm not high on him neither, right? But remember, we Knicks fans, man, and we talk all the time.
Yep.
And what do we always stress? We need big bodies. And I think a guy like that to kind of secure if Mitchell Robinson goes down, things of that nature. I don't see him being as bad as Jericho Sims, like I said. And I think Tom Thibodeau can actually transform this kid's game to where it's like, let's get out your mind that you're going to be an offensive skill player. Let's try to keep you in the league. You're 7 foot, you're young, you're athletic. Let's help you defend. Let's help you block some shots, and let's help you be a distraction and contest some shots. I think guys like that don't come a dime a dozen in the league. And look at all the guys now in the league, the young guys that's between 6'10" and 7 foot, how they're just prospering in the league. So I think under Tom Thibodeau's watch, and especially for that cheap price, I don't think it hurts us. It only can help us. And if it doesn't work, we could just waive him and let him go, or just sit him on the bench and don't play him. But we definitely need some big bodies. I like the Drummond as well. I'm sorry, you could go. I like the Drummond as well, but to be honest, I wouldn't mind trying to get both of them. Like, I'm just being for real. Why not load up?
I could roll with that. Why can't Wiseman aspire to be a Nicky Claxton?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Why can't he aspire to be that? And I'm not jumping out the window for Nicky, but Nicky he plays well, right? He does his job. He's worked himself into a $25 million contract, right?
Exactly.
I mean, making $25 million a year. So I love it. Listen, my brothers, I gotta jump out. Baby Flea's turning 10 years old today.
Oh wow!
Oh, man.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
So I am locked in on that. That's my baby girl. So y'all know how crazy I am about my daughter. So that is what I'll be doing today. I appreciate y'all so much, and I wanted to leave y'all with this, and I'll sit back and I'll listen if y'all spend a couple minutes on it. Yesterday, there was a sneaky trade that was made between the Washington Wizards and the Portland Trailblazers.
Right.
Portland sent Brogdon a few picks over to Washington. Washington sent Portland Denny and something else. Not sure. But my point is, we loading up. We don't want to go grab Brogdon to be a backup point guard now.
I've been saying that.
You don't want to do that now?
But hold on, Fleet.
How do you trade that? Make that trade?
Listen, I don't know. I didn't get into the minutia of that, but I just saw the dude. Dude was gonna be no, I RP. They let me go home to see my baby's birthday. Jesus Christ.
Bo was with us yesterday because Flea had his. They seen him with the suit with the button up. They were like, "Yo, where's Flea going to court?" Not to work. Couldn't be work.
The chat is legendary, man. I love the chat, man.
Yo, man. I'm gonna jump out and listen to my brothers, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
Happy birthday once again, man. Baby Flea, baby, 10 years old.
Yeah, I thank y'all so much, man. Love y'all, man. Talk to y'all soon.
Happy birthday to Baby Flea. A decade is crazy.
Yeah, man. Listen, the Brogdon thing. Listen, only way I think that can happen, Brogdon probably got to, pull I don't want to play here, get waived. But are we going to keep Burks? I'm being honest. Burks might have played himself into staying with us with what he did in the playoffs for that short stint against Indiana. I mean, what are we doing with Burks?
I don't think we're keeping him. I think he's signed with Clutch Sports.
Oh, you get him out of here. Get him out of here. Yeah. We don't want no Clutch Sports clients with the New York Knicks. Pack them up.
Yeah. So I think that's good. That's wrapped up out of here. I did want to just finish up with the James Wiseman thing. Who's his agent? His agent he's with XL Basketball, Will. And to y'all point, Tibbs is the center whisperer. I'm trying to look up some quotes if Tom Thibodeau has ever spoken on James Wiseman. They thought he could be like Chris Bosh, because Tibbs he just won't answer the question if you ask him about a player, or he might be nice about it, but that's why he's the center whisperer and why, like, he's the guy. Forget about how he can develop under Tibbs. The first thing is he a Tibbs guy? Does he have what it takes to even be a part of the NBA? This is 46% of the players polled did not want to be. They will not want Tom Thibodeau as a coach. We know why. You're practicing. The guys who love to practice and get better, they don't mind it. So James Wiseman, do you mind it? Number one, Tibbs is going to sniff that out, and he will call you out in the media, in front of everybody. So if you're not built for it, Tibbs is the perfect coach to be like, yo, he ain't got it like that. And just off that contract, that situation alone, that's a major loophole in the game. I think they got to take advantage of that, AllBall.
Listen, literally when I seen the Wiseman news, I automatically said we need to go grab him. Wiseman needs to look at what Tom Thibodeau did with Hartenstein. Why Wiseman can't turn exactly into Hartenstein? Left-handed, athletic, same thing. And I think Wiseman will look for a shot more than Hartenstein. Not saying he's going to be better than Hartenstein, but when he's in that paint, he probably will actually put it up. Listen, we can get him for the low. That's another big body. Like I said, you can't teach 7 foot. And all we would need for him to do is rebound and kick the ball out. We cannot continue to have Josh Hart getting all the offensive rebounds. No, we need big bodies. Like I said, I would love Drummond, but Drummond is not going to come as cheap as Wiseman. I'm sorry. It has to make sense. So for me, I think Wiseman, whoever's the agent, they got to be having those talks saying, like, listen, bro, this is it. If you don't make a splash wherever you go, you might be overseas after this. No knock on that, but, so I think just imagine him with New York and people seeing what's going on in New York and you becoming a part of that. You'll become a fan favorite and just do your job. Listen, we don't need you to do nothing on the offense. Of course, if you at the basket, put it up. But remember, he could be rim running, getting them alley-oops. But like I said, we need another guy that's down there. God forbid, we know Mitchell Robinson can't stay healthy. We're not saying he's going to replace Mitchell or do what Mitch does, but he's still 7 foot. He still know how to rebound. He still can get up there and block a shot. So I think that's a blessing in disguise, man. I hope we go for it. I really do, because I literally was thinking the same thing.
And mostly because Andre Drummond it's another guy. If that's the case, and we sign him for the veterans minimum, regardless if it's for $6 million, that hit won't be either or. That's a good problem to have, either Andre Drummond or this project. Like, we don't see Andre Drummond leaping over Mitchell Robinson, but we do see him filling in for Mitchell Robinson, especially for this season. That's $5.5 million we got to spend on Hartenstein, some of the Hartenstein contract, and either Drummond. And I think Andre Wiseman is just you just want to keep everyone on their toes too. You want to be able to have that's more of a movie script role thing, but I just want to give it our best shot. And to have a kid like that, he was a number 2 pick for a reason. I did think when they drafted him, I guess I saw all the highlights, and I'm like, yo, who is this guy? The Golden State Warriors got him. So I guess I was bamboozled about those highlights, but I think it's a great problem to have, either him or a veteran like Andre Drummond, who we know what he brings to the game.
Well, that was the one mistake that Golden State Warriors made. I don't want to turn this into, because this is Knicks Rehab, but I remember the GM saying that they're light years ahead, and they're one of the smartest. And they didn't pick the best player in that draft, which was LaMelo Ball. So, you know, I don't know what they seen in James Wiseman, but my thing is, you know, in life, sometimes what you're doing, if it doesn't work, you got to switch it up. And right now, the way he plays basketball, it doesn't work for him. So he may have to switch it up. And like I said, it's nothing to just, like I said, become a Joakim Noah. You know, be strong, be tough, mentally, physically, rile a team up, get the key rebounds, the big rebounds.
Absolutely.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Man, listen, you know we want to throw everything into a loophole on whatever news is out there. Want to see what fits, because for me, and we'll leave it with this, I don't think you wait to win the championship to make the decisions of a championship roster. It didn't matter to me that the Patriots won back-to-back Super Bowls 20 years ago. Regardless if you win back-to-back, whether you didn't win or you did win, I think you still have to make championship moves. Look at the Boston Celtics. They've been contending for the finals for the last 7 years. They added Porzingis. They didn't stop. They've been trying to add players, plug this guy out. So I think it's only right for us to speculate on especially in the Tibbs lineup. But I think any one of these big men all ball, all for grabs. With Tibbs, all right, y'all hate me so bad, but I'm the one who got these guys who you never even thought of with these contracts. That all means
you can hear me?
Yep.
You can hear me? Yeah, but see, for me, you know, I just think Tibbs get a bad rap because, you know, he's in New York. You know, it's comical how they say he run guys down when it's like he only has 6, 7, maybe 8 guys to play. He wasn't running guys down when you had a full roster. You telling me he got 10 guys, 9 guys, he's running guys into the ground? No, he did what he had to do. It's just simple and plain. And you know, with the big man situation, we need big bodies. We need big bodies. And like I said, if Mitchell Robinson wasn't injury prone, then this wouldn't be a thought. But knowing that Mitch is injury prone, knowing that we may lose Hartenstein, we got to do what we got to do. And if we can get these guys to where it doesn't hurt us financially, listen, it's a no-brainer. And I really think Thibodeau can make James Wiseman into a solid NBA player. Because, you know, what's never going to go away is rebounding in defense and toughness. Why do you think Draymond Green is still in the league? It's come on. So if Wiseman can go somewhere, hopefully our Knicks, but if he can go somewhere, I root for all these men, these young men and women, pause. But if he can go somewhere and average double-digit rebounds or come off the bench and be a spark defensively, he could be able to get him a contract. Like I said, look at Hartenstein. Hartenstein was lost. Nobody thought he would have this effect on the Knicks, on the NBA. Now he's about to get the biggest payday of his life. So you can't tell me guys can't pull off a 2 Chainz, the greatest second comeback of all time. Tell me a bigger comeback than 2 Chainz. You get,
is that Tom 2 Chainz Thibodeau?
Come on, man. You get what I'm saying?
Yo, man. You're on top of this, man. It's the 9 o'clock hour. All ball.
All ball, suckers.
We live.
Big Flea, never the little one.
I don't know who we are.
We out.
AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.